Welcome to the Late Show, coming to you from the monkey room behind the closet. Sponsored tonight by Bad Spanish Wine, great brewers of classic pipe sludge. It's Hall in the Sludge.
Thank you, Bill, as always. Corduroy King here, speaking to you tonight from inside our cozy little shack here at the monkey room behind the closet, the most holiest of poles. I got my gherkin. Boy, is it good. I got my corduroy jacket draped over my shoulders. I just spritzed my bonsai tree and the mallard squawked his disapproval. But seriously, folks, tonight, my fellow Logos and I would like to slow things down a bit from our normally high-octane offering here at the Late Show to bring you a tragic tale of a man gone wrong. Like many of you lost souls out there among the poles, Eddie Rabbit, also known around these parts here as the White Rabbit, was just a simple garbage man in his normal life, until a miraculous event transported him into the darkest of poles, someplace else. On reflection, White Rabbit realized that his Oldsmobile, a Royale Delta 88, was trashed. The boy drove it across the poles. Stupid humans. Now, word around the campfire is that the old engineer could repair that hunk of Detroit steel, get Eddie home. White Rabbit's never-ending search for the elusive engineer to fix that busted automobile has been the plague of his existence here and someplace else. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the poor soul himself. I remember colors. I remember sunlight. I can remember my first tricycle. But for the life of me, I can't remember my own name. I've been searching for the engineer forever, it seems. And that damn song keeps playing on the jukebox. These bad Spanish wine bars are all the same. The redhead behind the bar, the same old God's vet at the door, and the silly nonsense speaker named David in the corner. The redhead's name is Alice, I think. The vet has no name. The vet's change cup is just above the wet spot in his slacks. He knows the way to someplace else. The change cup, it's said, will cause a change among the 3 access poles when turned upside down. The robin nailed to the wall is all that remains of the light that may have existed in this dark world known as someplace else. I sit and stare at my shoes, contemplating the engineer's next move, like a chess game with no rules. I think I parked next to a fire hydrant, but I haven't been able to rise to see. The miners warned me this would happen. They told me that bad Spanish wine was addictive, so they wore masks, pink flamingo half masks. The engineer is an elusive character, but the miners told me he was a minor Scottish accident. I don't know for sure how I got here in someplace else. I don't even know why they call me the White Rabbit. But now I notice a sign on my back telling me to kick myself. Maybe I'll kick that bald David in the corner. I'll kick him because I don't like his shirt that reads, "I'm with the stupid." I don't like his jokes, and I don't like his hat. He keeps trying to trick me into believing that he can make static with his bald head. But I know it's the mustache that does the stick trick with the balloons. My grandmother used to say, elephants never forget. But we don't have elephants here and someplace else. What we have are pigs the size of cows. Don't get caught on the prairie plains during a swine stampede, or they'll eat you with their sharp Spanish teeth. I listen to a little Bowie after I hear something like that. It's scary here and someplace else. The watchdogs are known as Interpol. Pope and the others make sure you don't leave. The engineer will fix my Royale so I can outspeed Interpol. Marty O'Huppy and Kevin Pigfeet tell me in dreams that the Logos are bad. I don't believe them. I know that is not true because my pet frog tells me so. The bonsai trees don't grow here and someplace else. Only the ugly apple trees grow. Big green apples that cause you to go to the depths of the bad Spanish wine urinals and drop a turd the size of a third of the wine that is served in bad Spanish wine. I hear the lake walkers bless the mushrooms after they sit on them. I think I'll order some of those blessed mushrooms. Alice? Alice! I'd like to order now. I'd like some of those blessed mushrooms, por favor. You'd better not eat too many, or you'll get the warts. The mushrooms make you fart like the Wilks. The Wilks is a mythological character who roams the countryside of someplace else with live dead turkeys under her arms. It's said that she runs naked through Easter Island. I hear her stash is thicker than Magnum PIs. David is telling a joke. Let's listen.
So the other night, I decided to go out. I go to Bad Spanish Wine. You've been there. And I step up at the bar, I order a mug. And then from out of nowhere, this little leprechaun jumps in my mug. And he goes, "Brrr!" I'm like, what the hell? I don't think anything of it. So I finish my mug. You know what? So I order another one. Same thing. Leprechaun jumps out of nowhere. Into the mug, goes, "Brrr!" This time I grab him, though. I said, hey, buddy, listen. Do that one more time, and I'm going to cut your little pecker off. You know what? He looked at me and goes, but as leprechaun, we don't have peckers. I said, well, then how the hell do you pee? And he goes, "Brrr!" Is this thing on?
A tall cowboy enters the bar. He always enters at just this point and kicks the jukebox. The song Wonderful World skips to Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. That's the cowboy's name. Now watch what the cowboy does to David. It knocks David's hat off. A sound like mixing vinegar and douche. I always laugh at just this point, just as Leroy Brown's fist collides with David's head. See ya, wouldn't wanna be ya. Alice, another round for Nick and Fish. Come sit next to me and have some bad Spanish wine. Bad Leroy Brown is fun to talk with.
I've been out there lassoing them swine all day. I'm hot and sweaty. My balls feel like lead. And the last thing I need is your bullshit, David.
I check my watch, and it's always at this point that I kill Leroy Brown with my pistol. Blam, blam. I shoot Leroy and fork the last of the mushrooms into my mouth every time. It's not unusual to see Leroy Brown sprawled dead on the floor. By now, I've finished my mushrooms. I slide off my stool, pick up Leroy's hat, and kick the jukebox, which switches from Bad Leroy Brown to White Rabbit. And I exit until the next time. Wasn't that a horrible story, folks? I'm sure you're all out there nodding your heads in pole land. We've all experienced our share of getting lost among the poles, facing those horrible Interpol agents. But now, for something a little bit lighter. Take it away, little blonde boy.
What's a man wearing shoes?
I don't know. What's a man wearing shoes?
It was a banana.
A banana. Excellent. Good job, little blonde boy. Thank you.
I'm sorry, dear listeners, but wasn't that a hoot? Well, look who's just walked into the studio. My very good friend, Dr. Tyler. How are you doing this evening, Doctor? As you all know, our doctor brings us a weekly informational hour. What do you have today, Dr. T?
Tonight's episode of Dr. Tyler's Important People is brought to you by the Logos. John Whiteside Parsons was born on October 2nd, 1914, in Los Angeles, California. He was a founder of the Jet Propulsion Lab and Aerojet Engineering Corporation. He invented the first rocket engine that used castable composite rocket propellant. Parsons was inspired by science fiction at a young age and developed his strong interest in rocket science. He was briefly involved in Marxism in 1939. Around the turn of the 1940s, Parsons and his wife became deeply involved in the religious order known as Thelema. Thelema was founded by Aleister Crowley. At the urging of Crowley, John became the leader of the Thelemite Agape Lodge known as the Ordo Templi Orientis in 1942. Due to the lodge's infamy amongst the general people, Parsons was expelled from the JPL and Aerojet in 1944. During the McCarthy era, Parsons was accused of espionage and was unable to continue his work in rocketry. John Parsons died in 1952 at the age of 37 in a home lab explosion. Although many believed it to be an accident, it has been said that it was the act of the Chaos Affiliates.
Always a funny fellow, Dr. Tyler. Thanks for the info, Dr. T. Now we come to that oh-so-special segment of the Lat Late Show when we play a little music to accompany many of you listeners along your travels. Tonight's feast for the years comes all the way from the pole across the pond, the mother country, England. Off their debut album, Arthur, the indie British rockers Arth and Arth, just a couple of mates from the motherland. Here is Learn to Drive. I hope you enjoy it along those endless poles.
Your handcuffs rests by your side. Okay, that this is automatic. The other hand grasps the wheel. We feel as though we are not even moving. 80 miles an hour. Here's your orange warners. Expect to let us ahead in 3 miles. Everyone sees. Red taillights are diffracted through each droplet on the shield, and the wipers whisper their humble beat. Beat slowly, slowly, ready to end on this drive. 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 I left it in the glove box. I left it in the glove box, my dear. I wish I could have told you. I wish I could have made it more clear. I do the things I ought to do. I hardly play with FM flaps, change radio stations. Why does your car only have a tape player? People no longer have cassettes. I cannot look at you whilst you are driving. I believe this will break your concentration. Although I know that this is not true. Just a recurring schism of my own mind. The thought of looking at you is something I repeat for myself. But the thought is empty and false. 3 lanes separated by 2 dotted lines that lead us to where we are going. 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 I left it in the glove box. I left it in the glove box, my dear. I wish I could have told you. I wish I could have made it more clear. Already halfway there, and I stupidly realise the passenger seat is pushed forward. I grasp the hand below, giving myself more leg room. There is no one in the back. You smile from the corner of your mouth. You don't say that I should learn to drive. I feel you screaming with gentle, soft words. Learn to drive. Numbers on signs say miles are real. Each minute we edge closer to our destination, you and I. And you are driving. You are the driver. You drive. Listen, you drive. Listen, you drive. Listen, you drive. Listen, 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 listen.
Welcome back. Now, as always, our time together has come to an end, and we must say goodnight for now. After all, there are many more poles than these, and my fellow Logos and I must mosey on down that yellow brick road. We would like to offer a little help to all those hapless souls who are still lost among the poles tonight. Here's a little special SOS from our very own Cosmic Compass, Barker Lounge. Good night, be safe, and as always, thanks for listening.
Remember, keep to the right, the right, the right. Keep to the right, the right, keep to the right. Good night.
The Lat Late Show was presented tonight by Lat Late Presents, produced by Brian Higbee and Rick Snyder. The special musical section tonight was the song Learn to Drive from the debut album Arthur by British rock band Arth and Arth, featuring Tim Riley on bass. It's a collection of glorious, dark, uplifting, angry, luscious, and wayward songs in the vein of 60s singer-songwriter compositions distorted through a digital lens. The album is dedicated to their grandfather, Arthur, who served in the Royal Air Force during the Big One in World War II. Arthur spent his latter years tinkering away in his attic workshop. Sounds like we, the Logos, and Arthur would have gotten along just fine. Please visit the brothers' website at www.arthandarth.com. Also, check out some of James's fiction at www.amazon.com/humble-nations. Additional music was provided tonight by Rick Snyder. You can listen to his and purchase his albums at thefirsthour.bandcamp.com. Our wonderful Lat Late Show logo banner was created by Ed Yancey. If you enjoyed what you heard on this podcast tonight, you can also follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, the Denmark Chronicle novels, which will be a podcast produced shortly by Bryant Sullivan later this summer 2017. You can visit our Amazon page, www.amazon.com/Brian-Higbee. You can purchase all the books that are associated with the Denmark Chronicles, which will be an audio podcast later this year. And if you are so inclined, we also have a fan page at Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/The Lat Late Show. You can donate as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. Sky's the limit. The Lat Late Show is copyrighted by Brian Higbee and Rick Snyder, 2017.